Beavis Sakata and Brent Professor, everybody. It's Jason. It's the Black Rapper. Wicka wicka papa. Wow, look at that light. Alright, so I wanted to tell you a story. Do you mind if I tell you a story? A true story, one that actually happened. But I want to share it with you. Alright, so here it is. My wife, the other day, was going through our bedroom closet, and she was digging out a bunch of stuff that was in there. It was just a total mess. And she found a drawstring backpack, and inside of it were these things that she took out and she showed me. She asked if I wanted them, and I was like, nah, this is trash, this is garbage, throw it out. But before she did, I changed my mind, and I realized that, one, this could be a good tool for this video, and two, it's a reminder of something that I did that's important to me. So what am I talking about? If you've been following me on YouTube, you know that I read this book called Secrets to the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Now, T. Harv Eker is a multimillionaire, and he has this conference that went along with the book. So my wife and I went to one of the conferences, and they had several exercises for training yourself to think more positive and to be more successful. Now, I'm not going to disclose the exercises that went on because you have to read the book to understand it. But I will tell you of one thing that we did. And before I go into it, I just want to acknowledge to you guys that I do not condone what I'm about to show you. I do not take any form of responsibility for what I'm about to show you. Do not do this, especially by yourself. Do not do this with friends. Just don't do this. It's stupid if you do. We were properly supervised, and we had security the entire time. So do not do this. Just listen to what I'm about to show you. Listen and watch what I'm about to show you. So what were these junk items that were in the drawstring backpack? These are not drums. These are not drumstrings. Drumsticks. They're actually arrows, and they're not pointy. They're very dull. They're, very dull. No big deal. But we were each given an arrow, and we were asked to write on them what we were afraid of. So for my arrow, I wrote fear of failure. And my wife, she wrote fear of continual work, continual hard work. And so basically what we had to do, we got into groups, and there was one person in the group that was supposed to hold the other end of the arrow, and we were supposed to take the arrow to our skin, to our neck, somewhere around there. And with the arrow pressed here, we had to walk into it and face our fear and overcome it. Now, again, I do not condone this. Do not do this. But I remember looking at these arrows, and I'm remembering what I was thinking of when they were telling us to do this. And I was thinking, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, everybody's doing it. I wanted to step out of the room, but my wife, she was encouraging me to do it. And I was scared. I mean, I know it's dull, but, a million things could go wrong if you're not being smart. And so I was afraid of it hurting. I was afraid of it, hurting something on me. And, but I decided that I was going to face it. I was going to do it. I lived my entire life from fear, which I always thought was caution. I lived my life, not taking many risks because I wanted to be safe. And I was always afraid of being a failure. So in this one opportunity, it was right there before me, of all the pressure in the world, right there. And it came down to whether I wanted to face it or not. Did I want to chicken out? Because I have free will. I don't have to do things no matter what you tell me, I don't have to do what you tell me. But I decided with that moment right there, I was going to face it. I was going to succeed. You know, it may hurt. A million things could go wrong, but you know, I figured they have paramedics close by. So I knew that this is the moment. I'm going to do it. So with the arrow pointed against me, it was kind of like jumping into a pool, you know. I anticipated myself walking slowly and feeling if it was going to hurt or not. And the second I felt pain, I would back out. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk, I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to break it. So that's exactly what I did. With the arrow pointed against me, it was pressed on my skin. I walked forward, it bent into a U shape, and then it snapped. And then we all, everybody cheered for me. So I had overcome it. Now, my wife, who was confident from the very beginning, it was her turn after me, and the same thing happened. And she started to press forward. It was bending, it was in a U shape, but then she started to feel pain, and then she backed off, and it snapped, and it hit her. Well, it didn't snap, but it went like that. It didn't break. And so she was like, oh, because I told her it didn't hurt. So when she said she walked into it and she felt pain and she backed off. But then she tried it again. She walked forward, bent to a U shape, and then it broke and snapped in half. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because these are physical reminders of a simple exercise, but one that had significance for my wife and I. There's something about the mind and overcoming it. And we had to overcome that fear. Not just the fear of what's written on these arrows, but the fear of that pain in the moment, the discomfort, the fear of what if something happens, And we realized that life is about risk. It is about taking risks. It is about overcoming those risks. And you can't be afraid to be successful. You can't be afraid and let fear stop you. Now, fear happens whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like successful people, if you read the book, successful people get fear just like anyone else. They're afraid of failure too. They're afraid of all the risk, but they act in spite of it. They go forward anyway. Most of us, we don't do that. We feel fear and we let it stop us. Successful people press forward and destroy the fear. And so that's what these arrows mean to me. Now, do not do this unless you're at a T. Harv Eker conference and they walk you through it. But what I want you to know is I want you to see the illustration I just gave you. And I want you to do this. I want you to write down on a piece of paper what you are afraid of. And for the next few days, think about how you plan on overcoming that fear. So like, let's say, for example, you're afraid of talking to people. Well, how do you plan on overcoming it? Maybe throw yourself in a situation where throw yourself into a conversation. Things like that. I'm out of time here, but just wanted to let you guys see that and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. I'll talk to you in the next video. Subscribe to my channel. Click the link below, peaceandprosper.com. Meet me on Facebook, and I'll see you soon. It's Jason, the Blogging Rapper. Much love. God bless. Peace.